Hello, Musto0063 back again, and now I'm going to be taking on Boss of Stage 5, Solgryn, for the 4th time. I beat you in I Want to Be the Boshy, I've beaten you in the original I Want to Kill the Kamilia, I've also beaten you in I Want to Take the Time Machine. Let's fight you, and hopefully now beat you in I Want to Kill the Kamilia too. I'm going to skip the introduction, so let's just get on with it. And I'm hoping that this takes me a little bit of a time so I can try and explain some of the phases, but in some ways, you know, hope it doesn't take me all that long. But yeah, when you kick off, yeah, skip the opening, start off on the right hand side, wait until the water towers drop, and then kind of move to the left. You'll then want to kind of not walk so far that you jump off the edge. So yeah, wait a bit, jump so that you avoid his one fire shot. And also Perfect Chaos, or whatever the nom 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 thing is. Jump these little fire shots at specific points in time. You can dodge the fire shots in all sorts of different ways, but I find that if you kind of stand on the edge and just jump about now, and also jump about now, then you'll kind of dodge them all. Hello Kitty kind of flies in. If you kind of move a little bit like I did there, then you should be fine. I'm getting a bit kind of lost on now where I was up to in the fight, so in some ways it's good that I'm kind of dying, so that I actually get to somewhat explain what I am doing. But yeah, including completely failing to remember when I need to jump during that pattern. So yeah, jump, yeah, now, and now. Right. Can't get Hello Kitty down now, great. It's very, very hard for me to actually explain, probably, a little bit on what I'm doing with Hello Kitty. So I'm kind of like moving to the right and kind of going back in that fashion. The way I dodge Ryu there kind of ensures that the one shot that he just did like that, well, after obviously Ryu's appeared, I avoid that as well. So that's when I'm kind of jumping at that particular point in time. I now want to be over to the right-hand side, not that far over to the right-hand side though, Muster. Because Mario kind of comes up a little bit depending on where you are. It's quite similar to how he would kind of spring up in the Boshy fight when Mario appears. But yeah, I want to be over a little bit more over to the right so that Mario goes, well, further over to the right, and so that I have time, more space to avoid the fire. No, not the fire shots. Yeah, well, I don't know what they are. They're kind of fireballs, aren't they? That Mario kind of shoots. So if I can get back to it in a minute. Yeah, a little bit further over to the right, so that gives me more space to the left to dodge these. Now head over right to the right, because you want to dodge Biolante, and please can I time this a bit better? Thank you. Double jump, and avoid on again. Right, if you stand on this block where I am, and pay attention to what the hell's going on, you'll be fine. Let me get back to that point in time. But, as you can see, we're kind of going through a lot of the moves, and this is actually going somewhat kind of the way I kind of hoped it was as well, in that I am dying to specific points in time, which does say allow me to explain a little bit of how the boss really should be going. If I was kind of doing this and speeding through, whoops, too much, I might not get the chance to explain kind of you know, how I'm kind of attempting at the most anyway to dodge things. I'm not doing an awful good job at actually dodging things at the moment. I'm also at the moment skipping, or trying to skip the fight before I've hit, trying to skip the opening before I've hit the save. That won't work, I can guarantee it. And Hello Kitty should not be getting me. To be honest, there's not a lot, well, that really should be getting me, because I feel like I have a pretty good idea of how to cope with everything in this fight. But yeah, well, of course it's a Let's Play, so I'm bound to be clumsy. Still, I'm expecting this to be less frustrating than Giza, somewhat more fun, and somewhat more satisfying as well. Not that beating Giza is not satisfying, but I don't know, there's always just something about kicking the crap out of Solgryn that, yeah, just makes me feel all special. So, right, this time, if I get it right, if you stand about here on this block and just jump to avoid the first two shots from the thing on the left-hand side, everything else will miss you. So that's how you avoid that. Get to the middle, and now it's a kind of a back and forth kind of idea. That bit is actually quite tricky, and what I was doing there while I was actually talking was I was actually looking at the shots, but I don't really know why, because I find it slightly easier for me anyway to avoid that attack if I actually don't even look at the shots, but look at the floor more. But yeah, for whatever reason I decided to look a bit up, further up than I would ideally want to, and yeah, I couldn't quite get it right. But not that that is an easy move to avoid, actually. If I can get back there at a regular points in time, you'll probably find, or I'll probably find, that that is the move, to be honest, that gets me the most often. But I seem to be having trouble actually getting there at the moment. Come on, don't mess this up, please. Thank you. Yep. Right. Okay, so yeah, about here-ish. I think, anyway. Jump 1, jump 2, and the rest will all miss. He hopes, as he takes his fingers off the keyboard and crosses his fingers. Right, middle. Let's look at the floor this time. Yep, good, right. Now, if you stand about here-ish, I think everything pretty much misses you, apart from maybe one of the last little two. Sonic flies in, his rings come in. Skeleton King did not behave how I'd expected him to. Yeah, I'll try and, when I get back to the raisin dropping bit again, try and explain how I dodge that. I don't actually believe it's the best way to dodge that, but it's the way that I've grown accustomed to, so that's the way I do it. I believe probably a better way for most people, if you were looking for a strategy to develop on, you know, if you come to this fight as a, you know, completely from scratch, you probably should move right to the left-hand side of the platform. That's probably the best way to avoid it, but I'm used to this way. So stand about after the first volley, stand about here, and you should be fine. You need to dodge this one, but other than that, yeah, everything else just seems to kind of miss you. Avoid Skeleton King. Whoa! Avoid Mega Man. Don't get caught out by the fake out. The blood is very easy to avoid. This bit's not necessarily so easy to avoid, but I'm glad I did that first go, and now pummel away and hope to God that I don't mess up. Hey, first phase done. He hopes anyway. Please say I don't mess up on the transition to the second phase. I'm so glad you got to see that. Oh, joy of joys. What you need to do, I believe anyway, on that little bit, is you kind of need to wait for that spike to come down a lot lower than you might think. But I panicked because the platform started to get fiery. I thought I was going to miss. I thought the platform was going to go away. I wouldn't have been able to make the jump. So I tried to make the jump up too early. So, yay, I've got to do the first phase all over again. Yippee. But, by my reckoning, that only took about 8 minutes to have done all that. So, even if it takes another 8 minutes, that's hopefully not too long. But, oh, bloody hell. Yeah, I have no words, really, to describe that. And now I'm going to die on that move, probably an inordinate amount of times now. Having got through pretty much everything from Skeleton King onwards, all the way through in one go, I suspect there's things on that are probably going to trip me up now as well. To be honest, Mega Man and Shen Tsung really shouldn't. They really shouldn't anyway. They are quite easy. Missing No and trying to dodge the Godzilla spider, not so much, because the spider is particularly big and covers a huge range of the screen, so that can be a pain. Stop dying on comparatively easy bits now. And yeah, the final kind of shockwave move is not too terribly bad either, but it just always has me nervous. As I said, again, I suppose... Oh, God! As with, I suppose, most Solgryn fights, although, frankly, the Boshy one probably remains the hardest in that there are still no intermediary saves. Although I'm not actually sure about Time Machine. I'm completely not paying attention now. I'm not actually sure about Time Machine. I don't believe that has a intermediary save now, come to think of it. But at least the Kill the Kamilia Solgryn fights have intermediary saves. So once you beat obviously one part of it, you don't have to worry about ever having to do it again, unless of course you messed up on transitioning to the new phase, which is exactly what I managed to do. But yeah, once you kind of know what you need to do, say as with almost every Solgryn fight, where to be positioned on screen at certain points in time, it all starts to get that little bit easier. The ring pattern here is a little bit random. I say a little bit, very random, as I die on Mega Man. But it's not too bad. This bit's probably the one that's going to worry me a bit at the moment, but that seems alright. I'm going to mess up on this bit now, I'm pretty certain of that. Oh God, I thought I messed up that last little jump. Right, please, please, please do not mess this up. Right, I'm going to wait that little bit longer this time. Yes. Phase 2, yippity-doo-dah. And as I said, there is a save, so hopefully... Well, hopefully? I know I definitely will not have to do the first phase again. So there's a little bit more to the opening of the second phase. I'll maybe talk about that more when, thank you, right on cue, I die. So for this bit, the screen does go a little bit funny actually in terms of a time delay, but what you kind of want to do in theory, or the best way I find to dodge that, is to kind of be up on the second ledge, move to the right and then kind of drop down, so that the guy coming in from the right hand side, you can kind of fake him out so he doesn't come at your level. You do have to be a bit wary of the spread shots that come out initially, but that's a little bit random. But if you're down at the bottom, that gives you then when you're down on the bottom platform, that gives you the greatest kind of possible time to avoid it. After that, you then kind of ideally probably want to be on the left-hand side of the screen to avoid the two kind of swords patterns that come across from across the screen. As I was talking there, I was doing a very bad job of explaining. So here we go: jump, and then kind of tie it a bit better. But as I say, there is a bit of a weird delay here where everything kind of goes a bit funny. So if I can kind of time that a bit better, but no, see if we can get it right this time. That's a bit better, right? And then kind of just kind of do that manoeuvre, and you should get through the swords. So that's how you dodge the mess at the first bit of it. After that, we're back to our usual customary second phase attacks, where Solgryn has a green shield around him. Oh, and we have to kind of aim these little I don't know what you call them really, energy balls that'll do in Solgryn's direction. So it's just a case of trying to aim them at him, but as always, a balancing act between staying alive and trying to deliberately lead them. If this were Boshy, I would be putting a high premium on staying alive, but as the game phases, or the saves after the first phase, I can be a little bit more kind of gung-ho on this bit, to be honest, and do a bit more of a job of actually trying to lead them into him at the expense of dying. So I'm not so worried about dying, because it won't send me all the way back to the first phase. As usual, this kind of shockwave, it is a little bit different to how it behaved in Boshy, and I believe in the original I Want to Kill the Kamilia, but it's the same kind of principle. Nothing too different about it. I imagine 1 or 2 hits and you should be done. But as always, the pattern to these is slightly random, but there we go. Ordinarily, this Miku avoidance section I would call evil. It is evil on a first playthrough when you have no idea how to dodge it. It is absolute garbagely evil on a first playthrough, particularly this bit. And I'm sorry I'm going to go quiet, but I need to concentrate. Bugger! That was nearly the end of it. As you can see, it was about to transition its phase. Yeah, I hated that Miku avoidance crap the first time. It took so long to figure out how to avoid it, particularly that phase where the fruit just comes alternating up between the floor and the ceiling in such quick succession. That is absolute garbage to try and avoid that when you haven't got the foggiest how to go about it. When you know what to do and when to kind of time your movements, it gets that little bit better, but it's still a pain in the neck, and you have to be so damn precise. For the beginning bit of that, before the fruit goes completely haywire, you kind of ideally want to kind of stick around at the bottom. So I like to try and kind of inch my way along to the right hand, inch my way along the right on the bottom, and then kind of inch my way back on the left. Kind of gives me the best of. I'll try and demonstrate now. So, but I kind of want to be I don't want to be miles over to the right hand side before I think they're always pink, but I'm not 100% sure about that. The pink cherries kind of come out and start with the spread shots, because I kind of want to time this bit where I kind of go up each platform and get to the top when they've just about run out. But again, that's easier said than done, and my timing obviously there was not very good. But yeah, once you have... Whoa, that's going to fire right at me. Once you've kind of got the pink cherries kind of shooting at you, yeah, you kind of need to be... Well, there are a lot more kind of fruit that is on the screen. So if the further you can kind of get away from the source of all that crap, the better. And yeah, I find the kind of jumping up from the floor upwards through the platforms probably the best way to avoid that. From that point, the best position to dodge the fruit from... Whoa, damn it! The fruit from the ceiling and the floor, which kind of splits apart very, very rapidly, is to be on the second level up from the bottom. That seems to give you the best possible chance to avoid everything that's coming your way. But to be honest, there may be better ways of doing it than I'm doing it. I have no idea. All I know is that the way I've eventually hit upon works. So, given how long it took to find that, I am completely loath to even trying to find anything else. And just as a word of caution, when I was playing this on my PC, which is what I'm doing now, when I got to the third phase, the game crashed on me. So you can imagine my fleeting delight turning to absolute shock horror when the goddamn game froze after I just finished that stupid Miku avoidance crap area for the first time, got to phase 3, and the damn thing crashed. Lovely. But although the thing crashed on the guy, level boss of stage 2, I am actually a bit more optimistic that it won't crash this time. But we'll have to find out, won't we? Come on, one hit should do the trick. Thank you. But yeah, just as a word of caution, it might crash. Which means I'll have to do this all on my laptop. Ah, not good. God damn. Problem is with that phase, as with all Miku stuff, is it's bloody random, and if you're even out, slightly on your movement, so I might have been, I don't know, I might have been anything up to half a second maybe off from my timing where I got to the cherry dropping from the sky phase of that Miku crap. Yeah, I could have been very slightly out in my timings, and that could have just ruined everything basically. Meaning that, as a couple of times now, a cherry has been right bang in my way when I've been trying to go up to scale the ledges. But I don't know. As with all Miku stuff, it seems to be incredibly random and ultimately, unfortunately, somewhat dependent on where you are positioned. But yeah, with a better idea of how to dodge the last part of that phase, I'm hoping this won't take too long. If you're going to give me ball patterns, then it'll take a bit longer, but as I say, there's something about this where when you get to this phase and the game saves it, that almost makes me just think I need to try and go gung ho, try and get him down as quickly as possible. Like that last death there, I could have been a lot more cautious and kept myself alive, but you know, I was trying to be a bit cuter than perhaps I should have been and trying to get these things to aim for Solgryn, so yeah. But as I say, I definitely would do that if the game didn't phase. Good God, save after the first phase, but and I think, as with all those energy ball patterns, they just come completely at random. They could be positioned anywhere. They could, the order in which they fire, again, completely random. And if you get a pattern where all the energy balls kind of appear, you know, much more rightward than you'd like, so like, you know, over the ledges, then you can end up getting screwed over. The further over the left they are, obviously, the more time you have to react to them. Come on, a couple more hits should do. That should do. Come on, yeah. Now I'm too far over to the left. Oh, that should be alright, he thinks. No! I tried to go up, but I couldn't. See, the problem with that as well is I have such an idea of how... Thank you for that. Of how I want to dodge that attack, that trying to deviate and almost, funnily enough, react to even what's happening on screen is really tricky. I mean, the obvious thing to do there, as you should do in these kind of games, is obviously react to what's happening on screen. But with something like that phase, you just get so set in your ways in terms of, okay, I do this manoeuvre, this manoeuvre, this manoeuvre, and it'll all work out. But almost whatever happens on screen, that you replicate the exact pattern. Whereas, obviously, what I should try and do is pay a bit more attention to what's going on and react accordingly. But it's difficult. Well, that energy ball's not my friend. I've not liked this pattern, by the way. Come on, get in before I have to worry about the shockwave for a second time. Damn. I think whatever happens, this might be the last go before I just cut the video, because the recording's gone for about maybe 25 minutes or so, so yeah. Probably a good time for a cut, whatever happens. I was about to land an energy ball there. Oh, God. Eek! Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't react to what's going on. There's just too much happening. Grr, grr, grr. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick to my usual tried and tested method. But yeah, I need to do a little bit better in the first phase in order to set that up. So yeah, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, let's pick up this again. I'm just really hoping that the game doesn't crash. once I beat that Miku avoidance section, because that will mean that all the time I've spent on this part of the fight, which isn't all that long at the moment, granted, but still, will be all absolutely completely for nothing. And I don't like wasting my time on that kind of crap. I could tolerate it on the guy, since that really is not too much. But yeah, this is not something I really want to be having to do again. Much like the first phase of this boss fight, which I did have to do again. Yeah, I was so pissed off when my game crashed. Unbelievable. Just joy to despair in 2 seconds. Oh, come on, get him. Oh! If you're going to do that, why can't you do that at the beginning? Why wait till there's about 1 hit left on him? So the first attack's just, well, in fact, it doesn't even take that long, so it's just not even tedious or anything really. It's just there more than anything else, to be honest. It's not difficult, and yeah, because thankfully it is so short, it's just, you know, it's not even that tedious, to be honest. The only bit is to say the weird thing where it just seems to completely freeze in place. And I think having listened to other people's experiences, that is actually supposed to happen and not, god damn it, not a problem with my running of the game. But yeah, unless you get, well, obviously if you mess up the timing, then that'll be another way to screw up. But to be honest, unless the balls coming out of the first guy's attack are just really, really obnoxious, then to be honest, that's a pretty much a nothing thing. Whoops. The shockwave is as pretty much non-threatening as it always has been. I don't seem to be doing a very good job lately of directing these bloody balls at him. Oops. You forced me down to the ground. Oh god, bloody hell! It's like just 1 or 2 hits, and then you're giving me the most useless ball patterns where you're kind of like energy ball patterns where you're like trapping me at the on the floor or something. So that all the balls just going vertically down, obviously have no chance whatsoever of hitting it. And I'm just being ridiculously clumsy now. Haven't got to the Miku part. There you go, that's a demonstration of the energy balls there being a pain in the neck. But yeah, I haven't got to the Miku avoidance phase yet of this part of the recording. It's been about 5 minutes though, I assume already. 4.5, I don't know. So this isn't obviously anywhere near so bad to the point of thinking, oh god, I've died again, I'm never going to get back to it kind of thing. It's obviously something that you will do again and again and again, but as per usual, it's the Miku part. Oh god, I died to that. Wow, I'm having a fun time now. But yeah, it is the, despite the fun I'm having at the moment, it is the damn Miku avoidance section that's the bit I hate the most, and it is almost certainly the most difficult bit. So it's keeping up its tradition from every single boss so far. Actually, maybe not the third one. I misspoke there. The Miku avoidance part of the Fluker fight is not all that. I did it my first go actually on this Let's Play, although completely not the way I had intended. I was, say, ridiculously lucky there, but that really isn't all that bad, that bit. But I hate the avoidance stuff and in the avoidance phase stuff in boss 2, 4 and 5. Come on, we should get him this time. I'm not so sure. None of these are hitting him. None of them. I'm going to have to deal with a shockwave again. I don't think any of the last 10 energy balls there hit him. Oh, please, come on. Thank you. That was about 6.5 minutes to get to this again. Now don't die on the very first bit, please. A bit far over to the left here, for my liking, but we'll give it a go anyway. Flip! Nearly, nearly. And I would ordinarily say that the second half of that bit is the more problematic, but obviously it's not turning out that way at the moment. But always the way, whenever you get a pattern down for something, it's something else that then completely just goes to pot. I nearly did that damn thing first go as well. That's the cherry from the ceiling and the floor bit. But whenever I find, and obviously this is not the first time I'm hitting a eureka moment in terms of actually beating it, but I'll say I always generally find, whenever I do something for like the first time, and I think, oh, okay, now I've got it cracked, it always takes me an absolute eternity to get back to that point again. Oh, lovely. I've kind of run out of things to say on this, so I imagine I'll probably end up cutting in a moment, although I really hoped I would have avoided that on this boss. I triumphantly kind of said at the end of my last video that I wouldn't, that I'm hoping this wasn't going to cause too many problems. I haven't actually reached irritance levels yet from my point of view, funnily enough. Well, not certainly as much as I did Geezer, but I might still resort to cutting nonetheless. But before we get to that point, I maybe just wanted to quickly say something about the first phase again, in that I am delighted that there was no reappearing, disappearing Solgryn section of that fight, because that's what annoyed me the most in my Let's Play of I Want to Be the Boshy. That was what annoyed me the most in my Let's Play of I Want to Kill the Kamilia, so I am delighted that there is no such section of this fight. It's probably, to say, the one really random part of any kind of Solgryn fight that you just cannot predict to any degree whatsoever. Although I'd probably swap it to get rid of this. I'm not. Flip! Just about got down enough to where I wanted to be. No. Completely wrong, completely wrong, completely wrong. I might let this go on for maybe another 5 minutes or so if I can think of things to talk about, and then I'll probably start cutting, which is irritating, but oh well. Stage 6, when I get there, and I'm going to triumphantly say when, rather than if. Whoa! yeah, when I get there, that's just going to be laden with cutting all over the place. It's absolutely unavoidable, I'm afraid. Unless you wanted to sit here and watch, like, at least an hour of failure on every single room. Maybe bar one. There's one screen in stage 6 that doesn't irritate me all that much. The rest of them, I'm not sure I can pick out a single one. Damn it, damn it. If I got over that cherry, I think I'd have been alright. Oh. Why is there so much Miku crap in this game? Why can't I just have a boss that I hit? Seriously, with that ball pattern? Seriously. Well, I think that was just the most bull you could have been. So many over on the right hand side, and yeah, well, in all honesty now I've probably got to the point where I am actually keeping a premium on staying alive here rather than deliberately trying to aim these things at him, which I don't know if is probably the right thing to do. I don't know. As much as I want this over and done with now, particularly given my triumphant bit at the end of the last video saying it wouldn't be so much of a problem, I'm not looking forward to stage 6. If anyone out there can honestly say that they ever look forward to attempting stage 6 of this game, then, well, you've got to be the most masochistic person on the planet. Or thinking about committing suicide but just need a little push in order to get there. Don't die. I thought I was going to miss the platform and die on the transition to the Miku bit. Oh, good God, this is terrible. No. Thought I'd kind of done a decent job of getting myself back on track there. I got forced well over to the left-hand side of the screen for way longer than I ideally wanted. Thought I'd managed to rectify the whole situation, but no. Right before that that end of phase was, well, that little section of the avoidance bit was about to transition. No, I messed up. And that time I really was just paying attention to what was happening on screen. I had to, since my original plan just went completely out the window. I think next time I get to the Miku avoidance bit, if I don't do it then it'll be cut time. Be enough. Good. Right. Last go before cut time. Well, there you go. Terrific. Yep, we're going to start cutting. Yes! Phase 3. Right, please don't crash. Please, for the love of God, do not crash. This is where it crashed. Please don't crash, crash, crash. Please don't. Goody. I think we're okay. At least from a crash point of view. Not necessarily from what's going to happen here point of view, but... Oh, come on, go away, 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 go away. This is pretty much the third phase. There's nothing else to it other than this. So now it's just about being careful. Or at least I don't believe there's anything else than this. I don't know whether it's dependent on how long you take over this bit, but in all honesty, this seems to be all he does from now. I'm not even looking at your health bar. You must be pretty close, though. Yes! Given how little time that took, after I said I was cutting, I may decide not to cut that out. Hey, stage 5 done. This is stage 6. I'll be picking this up definitely another time. And thankfully, since I didn't die in the third phase, it didn't make any difference. But one thing to point out is that, unlike the original, there is no save after that point. So it wasn't a case of when my game crashed before that it somehow automatically saves when you get to the third phase. No, nothing like that. You have to do phases 2 and 3 in one go. There is no intermediary save. But thankfully, the third phase really is nothing. And with it not crashing, I don't have to do that Miku bit all over again. Solgryn is down. And now all I've got to worry about is stage 6. But we'll worry about that next time. Cheerio.